Today I'm talking about 2019 films that I've seen before that I really liked the first time I saw them and have been meaning to give them a rewatch. And the names of those 3 movies are Knives Out, Judy, and Ready or Not. First up is Knives Out. This is a whodunit murder mystery with a star-studded cast, and the basic premise is Daniel Craig plays this kind of silly southern detective who is anonymously hired to figure out who murdered this very rich father of this spoiled, rotten family. And it's great. I loved it so much. I definitely loved it more the second time around. I really liked it the first time, but I will admit I was very hungover the day I saw it. I don't know why I planned it that way, and I was immediately upset with myself for doing that because it was just a struggle bus, and that's because I was so hungover. God. And yeah, no, everything about this really just hits so well. I remembered the killer, but I don't remember like the who and the how and the why. So like, it was fun watching Blanc, Daniel Craig, do his thing, knowing part of what he knows, but not the whole picture of what he knows, because he is doing a lot of stuff that he's not telling people he's doing, and it's so fun and it's so silly, and it's just really interesting watching Craig's performance. And it has such a good ending too, because part of it is that we do know most of what happens by, I want to say it's around the halfway point of the film, and then it's not until late in the third act where they start to sprinkle in just a little bit of spice, and that spice really just transforms the whole dish that is this film. It definitely naturally builds to it, and there's such a logic to it, because part of it too is we have like 95% of the questions answered by the halfway point, but those last 5% are still really important. It's not superfluous. So like, yeah, that was just such masterful writing and just such a good fun time. The entire cast also just gave such great performances. Ana de Armas is in this. She's wonderful. She's basically the lead of the film. She was just a delight. Jamie Lee Curtis was so fun. Michael Shannon was great. Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Steinfeld, Christopher Plummer, Chris Evans. Like, it's just so many people, and it's just a delight. It's so fun. It's so charming. I should have rewatched this a long time ago. I don't know why I put it off for so long. But yeah, no, it's such a great, fun whodunit murder mystery that if you've never seen it before, it is well worth a watch. And if you have seen it before, it's worth a revisit because you're gonna notice a lot of little things that you did not see that first time around. So yeah, no, crazy love this film, wholeheartedly recommend it. Next up is Judy. This is a 2019 film starring Renee Zellweger. And the basic premise is this is the story of Judy Garland. It is mostly the last year of her life with some occasional flashbacks to when she was a teenage star. Renee definitely gives an incredible performance. She won an Oscar for this, and it is wholly deserved. It was really something else. But not all of the emotional moments hit as hard this time around, because I did remember most of the story, so I wasn't like surprised by some of the terrible things that happened to her. I mean, I still was struck by the emotions, like definitely the end. The end is so good, and if you're not crying at that last scene, I don't know how you're a person. But I think my thoughts from the first time around, I feel almost more strongly in that I really loved all of the flashback stuff to when she was a kid, and I would go so far as to say I wish the film had more of that. That I don't know if it necessarily had to be like 50-50 of 50% when she's near death and 50% at the height of her stardom. Without looking at the exact numbers, I would say right now it's like 10% teen, 90% her as an adult. And I think just tipping that just a bit more, like 30%, would have added a lot more drama and tension to it. Seeing all of her teenage struggles play out of like wanting to just be a normal kid, but not being allowed to eat stuff and being force-fed drugs all the time, and then flashing forward to all of the negative effects that had on her personality and on her physical body all these years later. Like, the movie does do that, we do see that, but just more of that juxtaposition I think would have really elevated the second viewing. That said, I still really love this movie. It's such an interesting story. Before the first time I saw this, I knew basically nothing about Judy Garland, and it's such a beautiful story told so damn well. Really, my complaints this time around are more like nitpicking. They are such the minorest of things that, like, if you want a good, beautiful story told so well and that's very heartbreaking, like, yes, without a doubt, give this film a watch. It's gonna recontextualize everything you know about Judy Garland in such a sad way. So yes, crazy love this movie, well worth a watch. Last thing I want to say though before I move on is that I still vividly remember watching this movie in 2019 because I invited my mom to come with, and it was like an afternoon showing or something, and so it was me and my mom, and then the theater was full, but it was full of like very old people. Like, we watched this around when my mom retired, but besides me, she was easily the youngest person in that room by a couple of decades. And like, the smell of walking in there was like walking into a nursing home. This isn't a criticism of the movie whatsoever. It was just a fun memory that I wanted to share. So yeah, no, even though old people definitely like this movie, anyone can enjoy it and get a good experience out of it. So yeah, no, great film, would recommend. And lastly is Ready or Not. This is a 2019 comedy slasher film, and the basic premise is Samara Weaving is marrying into this incredibly rich family, but unbeknownst to her, they may or may not have made a pact with the devil, and so now whenever a new person enters the family, they have to play a game, and if that game is hide and seek, it ends with murder. It's a fun, silly premise for sure, but the movie knows that it's a silly premise and leans into that. Like, it understands the absurdity of all of this fully. Samara gives such a great performance that's easy to latch onto and empathize with, and on top of that, she makes all of the decisions you want her to make. Like, she never has like any like dumb moments just needed for the plot to continue. Like, she's always thinking almost like from an audience perspective, and on top of that, she's her usual fun, charismatic self. Adam Brody is also in this, and he is a real standout. His character is definitely a bit more complicated and nuanced. Like, he's a member of the family, but he doesn't necessarily like being a member of the family, but he is here in this universe and he has to deal with it. Andie MacDowell is also in this, and it's just always great to see her. I remember being surprised that she was in it the first time I saw it. And then they really nailed all of the violence and the humor, though I could have used a bit more of both. Just a bit more blood and a bit more laughs. It's a pretty solid little film that I definitely enjoyed and would totally recommend if you want a good, fun, violent comedy. Like, yeah, no, look no further. This is a delightful, charming, little bloody film. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Knives Out, sitting number 4 in the really like section. And then after that is Judy, sitting number 13, again in the really like section. And then bringing up the rear is Ready or Not, sitting number 18 at the top of the quite like section. And this is out of a total of 57 old movies so far this year.